Gang, I don't know what happened, but like Donald Trump is cool.
I mean, Donald Trump has always been cool. I know up until 2015, 16, and then it was denied for many years, and now it seems to be back. Right. This is the norm of American society. They like this guy.
This is who he used to be.
Yeah.
I can't believe this guy has turned this corner so hard that he's back to the guy who is in Home Alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
It's nuts. It's so crazy that Joe and Mika are flying down to meet with him to try to restore their... Yes.
No, they are not.
Yes, they are.
They were just calling him fascist every day for 2 years.
I know.
Now they're going to try to repair the relationship.
They're going to try to repair the relationship.
And this is the type of stuff that Trump loves. Like, he loves people groveling like that. That is going to be adorable. I can't wait for that one. There are going to be some interesting tweets. I will say afterward. It is interesting. Let me ask you this. I was tossing this around with a friend of mine this weekend, and we were talking about how like this sort of phenomenon, right, where people in sports are doing this, and it's become kind of cool, as you know. Yeah. And I was trying to understand. It's like, is it a Donald Trump thing where people are just like, maybe they've always thought he was cool and kind of were hiding it, and now they're kind of coming out of hiding, which I think is a plausible explanation. The other one, too, I think now the Trump movement generally, MAGA, let's call it, generally, is just associated with, like, we don't want to ruin your fun life, right? Like, the left is now associated with you can't say this. Can you imagine being in college in this environment, Glenn? No. Like, where you're joking, you're busting on everyone, you're calling them all these, you're calling them terrible names. You're saying terrible things about them. You're laughing about it, right? Like, you're saying bad things about people that you don't like, and you think it's funny, and like, you're making offensive jokes.
You're a rebel.
All those things.
You're a rebel.
Right. The left now says, if you do any of that stuff, you're canceled. Right? Like when we see a clip of a guy playing volleyball and spiking a ball into a woman's face and she's injured, you are now canceled for criticizing that. Like, just generally associated with all of this has to be this idea that, like, you're taking away common sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's not even like, hey, I agree with his tax policy or his border policy. I mean, I think that's involved in it. But
I think it's a step further than that, and than what you're saying, and it's one of my concerns. So, Stu, we're talking about the cool kids table.
Yeah.
You strike me as somebody who was a cool kid. Were you?
No,
you weren't.
Not at all. No, not even remotely close.
So now maybe this is the loser table speaking here. Okay. But as somebody who was in the drama club,
I wasn't that guy though,
and the choir.
I was a jock, I guess. Yeah, if you're gonna put it in the old school, but I was not like a cool kid. But like I was playing sports all the time.
But the cool kids wouldn't beat you up.
That's true.
Yeah, okay.
That's true.
All right. Okay.
That's true. That is accurate.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
I saw like a horrible flashback go through your head right then. Something dark.
So for those of us who have ever been stuffed into a locker, okay,
giant lockers at your school.
So those of us who have ever been stuffed in the locker or are currently thinking about where can I get a locker to stuff somebody else in, you're sitting at the cool kids table. Have you ever, not sitting at the cool kids table, you're sitting at the loser table. Have you ever had a friend who was a good friend, you thought, and then they fell in with the cool kids and then they acted like they didn't know you?
I've seen many 80s movies had this exact plot.
Right?
Yes,
okay.
Right.
Okay. So for a reason, it happened.
Right.
Okay. And maybe this is just me. Okay. It probably just is me. But I'm seeing him now being so cool and everything happening, but he's surrounded by Tulsi Gabbard. She's not a conservative. Okay. Elon Musk, not a conservative. RFK, not a conservative. Vivek Ramaswamy, not a conservative.
Yeah, I mean,
close.
He was a libertarian. But I mean, he's not a. Yeah, he's more of a recent convert, if you would.
So that's the pack. That's the rat pack. Okay, and that's cool and everything. And I want those kids at the table.
Sure.
With the cool kid.
Sure.
But I want to make sure that the cool kid doesn't forget his friends at the other table. You know, the average American working person that's like, yeah, I'm not for you banning meat if RFK wants you to do that. You know what I mean? I'm not for, you know, universal basic income. I'm not for some of the robots taking over the world. We're still good, right? We're still good.
I have concerns as well on some of this because, I mean, first of all, I like it's a much better approach if you're a Democrat, right, to befriend Donald Trump and you know, support him and then try to get these things through. I will say, can we start here? How about no more lifelong Democrats appointed to big positions? I'm not saying these people are bad. They might be great, but let's just cap it. Can we cap it? Can we cap it at, what are we at now?
I want to cap it with, I mean, just because you're a lifelong Republican doesn't make me happy.
It does. You're right.
You know what
You're
I mean?
totally right. I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every lifelong Republican's okay.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, you're looking a little bit for a needle in a haystack to find a person who for 50 years supported far left ideology and changed last week, and now they have a major position. I'm not saying you can't find the needle in a haystack, but like I'm getting concerned we're looking for too many needles.
Okay, so now wait a minute. Hang on just a second. Now let me flip this on you. We're looking for disruptors. Okay? Tulsi Gabbard was a disruptor in the Democratic Party. She was the one, she didn't believe this. She was the one who went, you know what? You guys are crazy. And you're coming after me, and you're using all the things against me that the Republicans say you use against them, and I never believed them. But I'm seeing you do it to me right now. Same thing with RFK. They wanted to disrupt the party. They're disruptors first. That's what we voted for. We voted for a disruptor of this system.
But you and I know thousands of conservative disruptors. We know thousands of them.
Yeah, but not necessarily those that you could get a group of them walk into Madison Square Garden and everybody go,
I agree.
Wow.
No, you're right. I mean, Mike Johnson is certainly no cool kid.
No, he's not. No, he was the odd man out. Yeah, I guess,
is that guy security? Does he
makes me feel good?
Is a security's accountant? What is that guy doing?
Complete nerd, but he's not on our side either.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, but at least look.
At least he's what?
He generally has a conservative voting record.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like Gabbard and Musk, there's an arc there. RFK Jr. was literally running for president against Donald Trump 3 months ago. Right? A guy who's supported every left-wing policy under the sun, like maybe he's perfectly changed and now is going to run a great HHS, but I'd have very close microscope on that one.